Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Gilberto Silva podcast show. It's great to be back and talk about football again, as usual. Is always something interesting to talk about. Once again, I'm going to talk about Arsenal's weekend game against Manchester City and some of interesting topics. I'll invite again my friend Tim Chase. How are you, my friend?
Good, Canton, how are you?
Very good, very good. Great
Good
to have
weekend?
you. Oh, it's always good. And how was the weekend?
It was all right, mate. I was 40 on Wednesday, and then I was sick Wednesday, and we were plans to go out on Saturday night, and I was sick Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So it was to kind of summarise my feeling about turning 40. How was your weekend, mate?
Oh, good, oh, good. Surrounded with the family. Sunday is like stay home, have the cinema at home.
Nice.
Plenty of movies, nice food, and the family, everyone at home.
Nice,
Recovery
cool.
from Saturday, night out with family and friends. Just enjoy the weekend, but very good.
So what's a night out with Gilberto, the family, the family Silva? What did you do?
uh, very interesting. Something I always like to do is going out with friends and family to a nice place like a bar, restaurant,
Yeah.
and there is like a sports court there. But I
Okay.
didn't play sports. I was just surrounded with friends, talking, have a nice conversation, and not drinks this time, but
That's a
I
shame.
love. I,
That's a shame. I
I,
know you love your caipirinhas.
I no, I let the drinks to my friends this time. I behaved. Not
Good man.
caipirinha.
No worries. So how's
Um,
your knee?
the knee is getting better. Every day is getting better. Day by day, now one step further. Hope soon I'll be able to do some challenge again through challenge channel. I'm really missing it,
Yeah.
and hope this new version of my knee,
Yeah.
I
Well,
can I can uh, become stronger with my knee first, and with new ideas for the Truth Challenge with some friends. I'll invite my son as well to join me this time.
yeah. Well, we have a challenge coming up with Roberto Carlos this weekend.
Maybe I can
So
try to win the free kick.
it's the free kick challenge, the banana shot free kick. So I've
How's-
called all my neighbours and told them that I'm going to be taking part in the Roberto Carlos challenge, and they need to put protection over all their windows and greenhouses because there's not a chance I'm going to hit it with that curve on
I don't know if I can make it. Maybe
it.
I can find a technology to put inside the ball
There
and
you go.
make remote control might
Yeah,
work.
there you go. We'll get
Let's see,
Gilberto Jr. to do it.
it'll be better. He got a strong.
He's got
I don't
young
need to
knees.
make just to avoid any other problem.
So how did
But
you just imagine calling up your surgeon going, "Hello, yeah, I've got a problem with my knee. How did you do it? I was trying to copy Roberto Carlos' free kick." Okay, fine. Yeah, you're an idiot.
this one,
It's not a good idea.
but
Nice.
great, my friends.
What are we talking
Oh,
about this week? Arsenal?
yeah, we have again Arsenal against City at the last weekend. The result was not the best for Arsenal, and it's always hard, talk about when Arsenal lose, especially as we see many other people talk again. Arsenal, did you mean one of the bigger clubs away from home? It's quite tough to
Yeah.
hear this kind of thing, but the fact for me is that City played a very good game, and especially in the first half, they got a lot of possession. They are a good team. We have to remember this, and despite the fact they are not in the top of the table, but they still are a good team. They got a top manager, and they have to come back from the last few results. From the beginning of the season, as they didn't have the some results as they everyone expect them to do, win the first two games. They didn't have that. And Arsenal, of course, as another opponent, is a new opportunity for them to get the points and to win the 3 points. And unfortunately for Arsenal, it didn't work out, despite the fact they had some good chance to equalize the game after they conceded goal.
Yeah. Well, I think the first half they were kind of outplayed a little bit, and I don't know if it was nerves after the international break, maybe a little bit, because I think they were getting caught out quite a lot trying to play out from the back. Now that's why most of the teams now play, and obviously the way Arteta's getting them to play, and that was what was getting them into trouble a little bit. And they just looked really nervous on the ball. But the second half was much more competitive, I thought. I know there's a few chances in the first half, but Arsenal looked much more competitive in the second half. But let's consider where Arsenal have come from last season. They were not anywhere near beating any of the top clubs, I don't think. So let's look at how far they've come and have this as kind of a reality check. Look, you've only lost 1-0. A loss is a loss, but it wasn't like you got thumped 4-0, 5-0, or 3-0. It was a competitive game. It could have been a penalty at the end. There was 3 chances. Saka had a decent chance. Aubameyang had a decent chance. Pepe had a decent header from the cross from Aubameyang. It wasn't all one way. I thought they played well and they gave a good account of themselves. But let's not forget, City were the champions 2 years ago and came second last year. It was only because Liverpool blew everyone away so early. They came here. So I think it was disappointing loss, but also it wasn't like it wasn't a huge defeat, and it was still competitive.
I agree. It was not a tragedy.
No.
If you vote. Of course, because Arsenal started the season quite well this time. There is among the fans and everyone at Arsenal, there is a quite high expectation. This is normal, especially compared to the last few seasons. They didn't have a good start, but facing a good team, you always expect a good game, a hard game, especially. And the first half, especially for City, they got the control of the game. But as you mentioned, the second half, Arsenal fought back, and they got a good chance and create an opportunity to score the goals with Saka, Aubameyang, and generally we can say that this result, was a fair game. First half maybe for City, second half Arsenal got a better opportunities, and that could have been a penalty. The last minutes, last few minutes of the game, but the referee's decision is not always use the VAR in some case. But
that's a different conversation. VR is a different conversation at the moment.
But then I have seen the situation when Kyle Walker lifted his leg on Gabriel.
Well, he didn't just lift it; he jumped as well.
Yeah, but honestly, I'm not really sure if it was a penalty. Of course, it's a point to discuss. It's a point for us to talk about. Controversial situation, we can say that. But I'm not really sure, honestly, if we can say that was penalty. It's a situation that, this is 100% penalty. We can give it penalty. It was a minimal penalty. You can go with it. And honestly, I don't really think it was a situation to give a penalty. But
I think
to discuss.
Well, I think if Arsenal had conceded a penalty with something like that, you would be pissed off. But if you are Arsenal and you've got a penalty against the other team, you'll be happy that you kind of got a free penalty. Do you know what I mean? It's not like it was a blatant 2-footed tackle or something obvious. I think the important thing is that he didn't connect. Obviously, if he connected with Gabriel, he would have kicked his head off. I think the only bit that kind of made me think it was a penalty was that it was so high because he had his legs stretched up really high and then he jumped as well. But if that was in La Liga, that would have been a penalty all day long, I
Yeah.
think.
The point is not always we
But
have
the point
like
is, we're not in La Liga.
maybe other league as well.
Yeah, all the other leagues except the Premiership.
Yeah, but sometimes it's quite hard for us, from outside understand what's the referee's decision, if it's correct or not. There is always a point for us to talk about, to discuss whether he was right or wrong, and but to be maybe in this situation, Gabriel put his head properly and
Yeah,
fall down. I'm not, say that
encouraging.
do it and shit in the game. This is not the nice way to do.
I
But
thought you said shitting. You said cheating. I thought you said shitting.
just put his
No,
head
I mean, I thought you said shitting.
and smash Paul Walker's feet.
Yeah, is
But
that what you would have done then? Would have gone properly get the
yeah,
penalty.
not really, because of course you have in this. I think in the position he was, you always try to hit the ball and try to score with your head.
Yeah,
And the he was, and you don't really expect that player will jump high with his feet or his foot on your head, try to get the ball away. But
no,
was a big risk for Walker and to do it, and luckily was on a penalty, but could have been a penalty. My opinion that not really sure, because he touched the ball, not didn't touch from the position. I don't know if he did 100%. I'm not really sure he touched Gabriel's head.
yeah. I don't think he did. No, I don't think. I think that's what the one thing that saved him was that he just wasn't quite close to him. But then there's intent. So who knows? Who knows how these referees think?
Yeah, but um, yeah, well, we can say that despite the results, I believe it was quite was a good game. I think first half for City, second half for Arsenal. Maybe when you look at the stats, it's less possession in the whole game for Arsenal. But this is sometimes not the main point. Well, we can say that.
Against
Yeah,
the Pep Guardiola team, you're always going to lose on possession.
yeah, it's not so easy. Not so easy.
It's not surprising you lose possession, but on every other stat, if you look at it, they're pretty much even. Corners, attacks. The only thing was that pass completion percentage was the same. I think Man City had about 200 more passes, but they play a lot more intricate type of football. So I thought it was a really competitive game. I think it could have gone either way. I think probably Arsenal probably had more of the clear-cut chances to score from, apart from obviously Sterling scoring. I think there was 3 chances where they should have kind of done better. Aubameyang, Saka, and Pepe's header. I think they all could have were legitimately good chances to score. And I think they probably were better chances other than the goal that Man City scored.
Yeah, I agree.
And on another day, you would have won 3-1.
Yeah, this would sound perfectly for
But look,
chance.
Look, if you'd started the season, if you'd have said you would be 5th after, was it 5 games, 5 games, 5th after 5 games, you would have taken that, no? You would have said, yes, I'll have that.
Yeah, I think this season, we have to consider all scenario, with football. But I believe that the players are behaving well, due to the short break they have for holidays, and to come back and play again a tough competition. And I think it's important, especially for athletes, just pay attention it for the season, and understand, how fit the players are, and keep an eye on it, and see whether they are going to be fit to play the games. And but I'm sure he'll pay attention it, and to avoid any other problem, because the weekend they have an important game again against Leicester. Leicester is doing well again.
Yeah.
And
Same points though. You know, everyone's saying Leicester's doing really well. Arsenal on the same points, both 9 points, aren't they, after 5 games? 5 games.
the fourth and fifth,
Yeah.
and would be great to see this game, and an important game for Arsenal, a great opportunity for them to recover from the last defeat. I think this is how you have to to perceive the game. When you lose a battle, we cannot change the result and just look forward for the next game and improve. What Arsenal needs to do is this: improve for this game and work out from what went wrong. Let's say, for example, in the last game, maybe the goal we can touch the point. Maybe if Bellerin could not defend better in the situation when Phil Foden passed him and hit the goal, say by Leno, and then Sterling scored a goal. But if they consider that there's a gap for them to improve, let's improve this for the next game against Leicester, because as we know, Jamie Vardy is going to be there.
Smashing in goals. What
Everyone in front
Yeah.
of him.
What do you think when you were playing and you lost a game? Did you want another game to come quickly so that you could kind of right the wrongs? Do you know what I mean? So you can kind of prove yourself again, or did you want to have a bigger break? There's a lot of things were said about the international break for like the Liverpool players and the Manchester United players having a too long a break before they play again. How did you feel when you were playing? Did you want another game quicker?
Sometimes it's good you have another game quickly. Especially, for example, in the last game of Arsenal, 1-0, and then you want to play immediately. Sometimes when you have a very bad result, sometimes it's good to have a little bit more
Really?
to digest the bad defeat, and because it's hard, and this also is a emotional situation and a psychological point you have to work out and understand why you have this bad defeat. And sometimes it would to have a few more days to play again and to correct things and to avoid the same mistakes. But it's also a big point you mentioned. It's very important for the big clubs or the clubs who has many international players. It's always hard for them when those players come back from international duties. It's always hard.
Yeah.
And I have played for Arsenal, traveling to Brazil and South America. Always was hard now to come back and play immediately.
Yeah.
The good thing that Arsenal always, put somebody to play, and during the game, maybe 20 minutes, half an hour of the second half, I came to the game. But it's not every time you are lucky to do this kind of thing. Sometimes you need your best players to play immediately.
Yeah.
Like the European players, for example, they travel short,
Yeah.
and in many cases they are able to play.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a point, you have to say that sometimes some of them are not full recovery with their muscles, or sometimes due to injuries. This is another problem for the clubs to deal with.
Yeah. So, I mean, when you were playing for Arsenal and obviously Brazil, so were you flying from London to Brazil and then meeting up with the team and then flying somewhere within South America? So you were traveling so much. You must have been exhausted, no?
Yeah, it's quite hard.
No wonder you look so old now.
Yeah, it was quite hard for international players to travel to South Americas, especially because it's very far.
Yes.
I remember traveling from London to Rio de Janeiro, and then we stay 4 or 5 days in the camp in Rio de Janeiro, outside Rio de Janeiro, and then normally, we most of the games we played away somewhere in
Yeah.
South America. Then you have to travel South America, play, and come back to Brazil to play the home game. And the next day fly back to England. But it's always a long way, you know. It's like traveling South America
It's huge.
can take you 6 hours, 7 hours, and plus the time you have to wait in the airport. Now it's almost a day, and you have some time to, for example, when you play in Bolivia, there is a problem of altitude. Ecuador,
Yeah. We played
kind.
Brazil played Bolivia last week, didn't they?
Yeah, but they played home. There's no
Okay.
altitude. Yeah, not too bad. Not
Yeah,
too bad.
but it must be really exhausting for players, then, no? So you have to, if you're going to be a South American player playing in the Premier League, you need to have quite an understanding manager or coach that will allow you to have that time off. Otherwise, you're just going to burn out, no?
Yeah, no, it's important. It's important. The marathon is very complicated. But as a player, you want to play. This is for it's 100%.
Yeah, you're young and stupid, aren't you?
Yeah, you want to go to the national team. You want to play the games. Despite the traveling. And I was lucky. Most of this traveling, especially Europe to Brazil, and traveling in a business class, and then you can sleep properly.
Not sure.
Otherwise, if you are not in the business class, it is another trouble. Especially for me, long legs
You're quite tall, aren't you?
would not be good. But
That's probably why you got a bad knee. That's why your knee was bad, is because you had cheap seats on the plane.
I don't know this kind of situation. When the clubs like Arsenal, they've got now Manchester United, City, Liverpool having the international players and play for their country, is always a big discussion regards the how they return to the clubs, fit or not.
Yeah.
And there's for the clubs to understand, the manager especially to understand, and the player. Be honest, if he's not able to play, he's not fit enough, he's too tired. It's normal to say, and to avoid a major injury.
Yeah.
And but another thing I want to say is that was quite short for us now, but very important, I guess, to have party on the field, even quite short,
How did he
but
look?
was good from Arteta to give him a few minutes on the field in the last game. Maybe it's not the best way to
No, for
take it,
loss, but it's not
but
like Bale. It's not like Gareth Bale who came on. Team was winning 3-0. He came on, they lost, they drew 3-all. It's not a great substitution, is it? Not going to fill you with confidence.
maybe he can be a player to future in the next game against Leicester.
Yeah. Well, you've been singing his praise, and the Arsenal fans in all of the comments on your social media when we do a live Instagram live, it's always said, "What do you think about Partey? What do you think about Partey? Do you think we should sign Partey?" I mean, he looks like he's going to be a great addition to the team.
Yeah, looks like. I'm really looking forward to see he starting the game and improve Arsenal performance in the middle of the park. I believe this is the kind of play Arsenal needed for quite a long time. And I've been speaking about this position for quite a long time. People has asked me plenty of times about it. I have said the same. And let's be positive. I'm really positive and looking forward for Partey to fill this gap and give Arsenal what they really need on the strength and the protection, because he's a kind of a player who really understands how to play in this position. You must understand what is your job. You are most of the time not recognized by people, but this is a good way to give the stability and not be noticed. But when you see the results, people start talk about the stability you gave to the team by the way you play. I think this is the position Arsenal. They were struggling. They had Torreira. He had a very impressive start, and then a few changes was made. And even in the way he was playing from the beginning, and now they Partey, I believe Arsenal got a strong body in this position.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. So, well, he's going to have a big game on Saturday. That's Sunday night, isn't it? He's going to have a big game on Sunday against Jamie Vardy. He's going to try and help the defensive team, the defensive unit, not let Vardy in and score too many goals because he's banging them in at the moment, isn't he? And Leicester are looking good.
Yeah. Let's hope and see Arsenal how they are going to behave, and I don't have any clue who will be at the back.
No. Well, Holding was injured, wasn't he? Holding was injured in the warm-up last week. He did his hamstring in the warm-up. That's why he didn't start. That's why David Luiz was supposed to be on the bench. Mm-hmm. So see how he is. So before we do the prediction, let's do the prediction next. So what's your prediction for Arsenal versus Leicester?
My prediction is 2-0 Arsenal.
2-0 Arsenal.
3-1.
3-1.
3-1.
3-1. Yeah. I'm going to go 2-0 Leicester. Just to make some friends with all the listeners. I can't go on the same side. I can't go on the same side as you, can I? Someone's got their WhatsApp on. It might be me. There's a fine. Got a fine coming in. Then also we need to do Arsenal Player of the Week. It's on my side, isn't it? So who's on the shortlist? Who's on your shortlist? I've got Saka, Tierney, and Aubameyang. Who do you reckon?
You have good eyes. But I'll say Saka.
Yeah,
I think
Saka
was Player of the Week.
Cool.
For me.
Nice. Good. So congratulations, Saka. Gilberto Silva Player of the Week. Cool.
Yeah,
okay, mate.
Good energy in the last game. Let's be strong again against Leicester. Let's see.
Yeah. So we've covered Arsenal. We obviously need to talk about that Pickford tackle on Van Dijk. So we spoke about it just before we started filming. And you, 4 or 5 weeks ago, had knee surgery. You've not been able to watch it yet. Because after you've had knee surgery, you can't watch. You can't if you've got a bad knee or you've had surgery on your knee. That's not the sort of tackle you need to see, is it?
No, I just I missed this game. I didn't watch the game, but I've seen a few pictures in social media. When I looked before he got hit by Pickford, wow, I was terrified by the way, because when you see the picture, it looks very bad. And
that's your WhatsApp, not mine. I've turned mine off. That's your WhatsApp. It's a fine. £5 fine for Gilberto Silva leaving his WhatsApp on during a podcast.
Let's see. I get the blame. Sorry. And but when you see the picture, it seems very, very bad. It's not nice when you see the image. And look, I could have been much, much worse. On the moment he got hit by Pickford and Van Dijk, seems like his foot slid backwards.
Yeah,
but was very bad.
It could have been horrific. It could have been absolutely horrific. So obviously you didn't watch it, but yeah, basically he was standing here like this, and Pickford came in and both his legs wrapped around him. He kind of caught his waist right on his knee, and like I said, if his feet weren't in the ground, if his stump wasn't, if he didn't slip, his leg go backward, it could have been even worse, man. It could have been awful. And you could actually see, I've seen it in slow-mo, and you could see Van Dijk's face as he saw him coming in and was going, oh, fuck, this is going to be problems.
Yeah. When you see this kind of tackling, it's very bad. Both legs, he jump on it, he could not get a chance to get the ball. It reminds me a very bad tackling on Eduardo da Silva against Birmingham.
Mm-hmm.
Away.
Robbie Savage?
No, not Robbie. I don't remember now who was the defender, but I was on the bench on that day, and Eduardo got a very terrible injury. Was
Um,
he could have lost his
did it snap his leg? It snapped the bone in his leg, didn't it?
yeah.
I
He
remember watching that on TV.
was just talk about it. All the images came onto my mind, and
Did you see it live then? Did you actually see it?
on the field. I was on the field, not on the field, outside the field, on the bench. I see all the images. He was running the ball when the ball just get away from him a little bit. In the moment he put his leg to touch the ball, the defender hit him,
Oh,
but unluckily his foot was on the floor and got him in this moment.
oh,
Yeah,
all of his
yeah.
weight was going forward as well.
You see, the his foot, broke already in the air. Very. I can see on the face it's terrible. Don't look on it, man, because if you see, you
So,
understand.
what? So when your teammate does have an injury like that, what do you do? Do you just kind of give him a hug and pat on the shoulder and just let them? What do you do? If you saw your teammate having that sort of injury, do you go and punch the guy in the face that did the tackle?
It's tough, sometimes. I because in the position, I don't see the intention of kicking the guy in very badly on that way. He was, but unfortunately, it was a bad injury.
Yeah.
But what can you do? You cannot fault with the other player, and we maybe in some situation. Um, I believe that the players could be more, how can I say, uh,
Responsible?
change a little bit the way they go to take the ball from the opponent. Because when you jump, you are in the air, you can't stop yourself.
No.
It's always a possibility to hurt the other guy. And this is the problem. Even though you try to get the ball, but there is a chance. In
Well,
this
Pickford didn't try to get the ball at all, did he?
Silva, I honestly, I don't know. I cannot say that the guy tried to hit him or stop him, but he unluckily hit him and he had a terrible injury. Could end up his career. And but in this situation, the one interesting thing happened to me because I was on the bench. Eduardo did not speak the language, and I remember Gary Lewis called me to help him to
Translate.
translate what the procedure they were going to use to put him on the stretch and take him away from the field. And I was there, but when I see,
Trying to do that.
oh, yeah, it was tough when I see his foot. But then I was there on the field, and helping him somehow. And there is not much to say after the situation, but it was very tough to be there on this day.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
on that
but
note,
let's
yeah.
hope that Van Dijk recover fast and come back strong again. This is what we want from all the football players. Not have these bad injuries. Sometimes happen for some reason. Sometimes, but hope everyone learns from it. And another bad tackle in this game was from
I've
Richarlison.
got to eat my dinner soon, mate. Stop doing all these disgusting tackles. I've got to try and eat some food soon.
Yeah, after this we have to refresh a nice song.
Go on, what's the tackle? Go on.
Yeah, it was a bad tackle. He got well-deserved red card.
No, you're going to give another example of another injury. So that's the other injury.
I just say about Richarlison
Oh, yeah, sorry.
on Thiago. In this game, Everton, where Van Dijk was injured, in this bad tackle. And then there was Richarlison. But he took the blame and he apologized for his team of his team of being sent off, apologize
I don't think he
for
did, mate. I don't think he
what
did. I don't think he apologised. I think he just said it's football. I don't think he apologised. I think he said
I read something on his social media and
no. Okay, so he posted on Instagram saying this is just a part. This is just a tackle. It's just football. Don't everyone get so worked up about it. And then he deleted it and then posted that.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
I don't know if it was him properly, but
Maybe it's an admin.
you know, the first one or the second. But the fact is, and when you hit somebody, but because it was very bad injury, it's I don't know how Thiago is. Hope he's all right, but he couldn't have broke his leg.
I think
I
it
don't
was
know.
just a knock. Yeah, I think it was just a knock on Thiago, rather than anything like soft tissue. I think he just got a big bruise. I think,
Yeah, it's not so bad. This,
but it still fucking hurt though.
yeah, but it was quite a bad tackle.
He could have
And
snapped his leg, right?
was alright, but for Richarlison to learn. Normally, the strange things about strikers, because they all the time they got mocked by center backs, they kick them. But when the first thing they try to do something, they always get. They should stop doing this because they don't know how to do it.
No,
Not me.
leave the tackling to the real men. What who was who was the worst? So all that you obviously played with a lot of attackers that were amazing going forward. Thierry Henry, Ronaldo, Ronaldinho, all these type of players. Who was the worst best player who was who was the tackler who was the worst tackler? Let me start again. Fucking hell. Who was the footballer who was the worst tackler out of all the amazing players?
None of them didn't know how to do this
No.
because their focus is about to score goals, to dribble the opponents and trying to find somebody to give the pass. But I think Ronaldo
Really? Nice.
was
He didn't really care either.
Henry. He was clever.
Yeah, I know way.
Yeah, he was clever. He could use because he was very strong.
Yeah.
He is strong, and he used his body quite well. Ronaldinho is smart as well, but Ronaldo didn't know because all the time, the guys kick him. But every time when they try to hit back, they become too obvious.
Yeah.
Intention, and it's very easy for the referee to see and put them.
What was Dennis Bergkamp like at tackling? Because he had that like the
Very
devil in
smart.
him, where he would like put an elbow or stamp on a foot.
He was very smart. He got kicked many times, but he really knew how to give it back.
Yeah.
At the moment, the right time.
You want me to do it now with VAR?
I don't know if it would be easy for VAR to catch him.
Really? Like really sneaky.
But nowadays with VAR, they stop every time. Sometimes it's too much. I have seen a few problems here in Brazil where the referees are stopping the game and take so long to make that decision. In England, also there's a lot of controversy situation where the VAR have been used and the time of how they are using it, has been so long. But I hope they work out on it, not only rely on VAR, take that decision, the referees, the linesmen, and rely in the job they do. And sometimes when they use VAR too much, honestly, it's killing the game, it's killing the passion of the game.
Yeah, it's the bit that get. No, I think the goal line technology has worked really well because the referee just gets things saying goal, no goal because it's either in or it's not. It's very simple. I don't think VAR. I think they brought VAR in too early. I don't think the technology's there because they still rely on a human to draw a line of where the defender's furthermost part of his body is and the attackers. So they're relying on a human to move the cursor around so that line is in the spot. And that the Liverpool Mane was not offside, I don't think, and because they can see the line is nowhere near Mane's elbow, which is the point of reference that they're measuring from. I just don't, they need to have it so that the system understands, can work it out, rather than a human moving the line over to where he thinks is the last spot. That's the problem we have. Human error is causing this. They need to have it wait to the technology's at a place where you just go, was this offside? The computer goes, yeah, it was. Well, no, it wasn't.
Yeah, but if the human errors are causing the problems, why not the referee take the responsibilities?
Yeah.
Because they are in charge, the referees and the linesmen, and then you have somebody inside the room, they cannot feel the game. It's very cold situation, then they are take the most of the decision.
Yeah.
And
or the other way they have.
In some clubs with some situation, I don't know, maybe in the near future, FIFA must work out the rules of VAR, the whether what is really the sent off. Sometimes we see a little finger up front line, and there is, and then you have like somebody inside and put the technology, use the line, and just the finger of the player is in front, and that's allowed to go.
No. I think it should be so. Like, if they're going to get the decision, they should have a referee on the pitch, but then the referee watching and the camera going, rather than the referee on the pitch having to go and look at it or anything. The guy can just go, "All right, that was a free kick, bring it back." So the game isn't slowed down at all. They've got a guy that's looking at it from on top, or they have, and the rule for the offside should be only a part of the body that you can score a goal with can be offside. Because if your hand's over, you can't score a goal with your hand. So it doesn't count. If your foot is, absolutely. You can score a goal with your foot or your head, fine. But having your arm out, sorry, camera's in the way, having your arm out, what the fuck does that mean? You can't score a goal with your hand. Is it relevant?
Exactly.
Anyway.
Just for your hand. Unless if you are Maradona.
I was just about to say, unless you're fucking Diego Maradona playing against England. Nice one, mate.
Fantastic. I think we cover good points here, and I hope Arsenal have a fantastic weekend and swallow the last defeat and put away all the frustration, come back stronger. And honestly, I'm looking forward to see Partey to have more minutes in the next game, because it will be a hard game. Leicester is doing well again at the start of the season, and let's see. Look forward for this game, and good luck, Arsenal. Come on.
Yeah, they start Europa on Thursday, don't they? Europa League on Thursday.
Yeah, on Thursday they play Europa League. Rapid Vienna.
Rapid Wien, not Vienna, Wien from Austria.
Yeah. Because here in Brazil we spell every word. We say Vienna. Rapid. Yeah.
Cool,
well, honestly, for me, it would be much better talking about international competition, about Arsenal being the Champions League.
That'll be next season, mate.
Hope the next season they are going to be there. But good luck for them the start of the competition, because that is a chance if they win the competition to be playing the Champions League despite the results of the Premier League this season. And I hope they do well, because it's not Champions League, but it's a difficult competition as well. It's not so easy as people think. And good luck for them. I don't know much about Rapid Vienna.
No, neither do I.
Work out on it for the next show.
Nice, do some research. Cool, man.
Great, my friend. Thank you to be again. See you soon. All the best.
Cheers, mate. And if you're listening to this on the podcast, don't forget we have a YouTube channel. So the Gilberto Silva Invisible Wall YouTube channel, where you can watch us talking about football and Arsenal and all these other things. If you're watching on YouTube, we have a podcast. So go to whichever way you listen to your podcast, whether it's Spotify or Apple or Google, go and have a listen. And also some big news that there'll be some Gilberto Silva merchandise coming out in his own store very soon. So keep your eye on that. I've got a hat here, but I'm not allowed to show it. But I'll give you a sneak preview. There it is. There's some big things coming soon.
You can show it.
No, not yet. Not yet. Too early. I can't show it before you have it. You got to show it before I do. All right, mate.
All the best.
Okay, Simon.